Hey guys, well done for getting to the end of phase one. I'm really proud of all of you. I'm really proud of myself too. And phase one out of 3 phases is really good and it's down, and I'm loving seeing your results coming through. Really proud of you, like I say, and I know it's only going to get better as we move through phases 2 and 3 as well. So I just wanted to come on because as we head into phase 2, there are a few things that we need to be mindful of, and I just wanted to do a quick video for you so that you knew what was happening. We have got some new stuff coming up next month. There'll be some new exercises, new moves, and some of your containers will change as well. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that you're in the right bracket for this coming phase. We need to make sure you're having enough food, but also not too much food as well. So we need to refocus now and look at everything that we did last month and readjust and then put it right, or get it all set and ready for phase 2 to move on. So the first thing I want to do is for you guys to really focus on what your non-scale victories have been over the last month. With this program, you won't see rapid weight loss to start with. It's not like a 21-day fix, which is very much focused on those 21 days and getting really great results within 21 days. This is 80 days, and it's split into phases. And each phase has a purpose, and it's 80 days for a reason, so that we can work through each of those phases properly and see the benefits from all of them. So we're not going to see rapid weight loss right now, so that is okay. If you're looking at the scale and you're thinking, oh, I've only lost a few pounds, or maybe you haven't even lost any pounds, that's okay, because we're not necessarily expecting that at this point. Okay, so I just want you to be clear about that. It's a very different type of program to something like 21-day fix, so we need to make sure that we're in that right mindset and know that this is a long-term thing. We're a third of the way in, but that's not to say that the results that you have right now today are a third of the results that you're going to see. You probably will see more accelerated results as we start to move through phases 2 and 3 as well. Okay, so what I want you to do is, like I say, think about your non-scale victories. So focus on where you're stronger. Make sure you're not comparing to anyone. So it's great that we're all sharing our progress so far in the group, and that's fantastic, but you really must be sure not to compare yourself to anyone else. We're all on different stages of our journey. We've all got different body compositions, different amounts of weight to lose or muscle to build, and this isn't a comparison game. This is about you, yourself. So please don't start to compare yourself and falling into that trap. But you will be feeling some victories, and I know you've already shared some of those in our groups, but I know you guys have said that you're already feeling stronger, you're feeling fitter, you might be sleeping better, your clothes will be fitting better. These are all really good things to keep a track of and to monitor as we move forward, because they mean that your body's changing regardless of whatever the scale might say. This program, because it's 80 days and because it's quite specific in terms of timed nutrition, it's going to give us the opportunity to really learn some things about how our body responds to different exercises or different foods. So it's a really unique program that we're on right now, and I'm hoping that you can really use it to learn quite a lot about your body, things that you can take forward. So once this program is finished, that you can take those things forward and apply just in general with whatever you choose to do afterwards. Okay, so let's have a think about what your weaknesses might be. I know we don't want to focus on negatives, and I don't mean to do that at all, but what I want you to do is try to identify where you might feel you have some weaknesses. So it might be that maybe you're not as good at meal planning as you'd like. Maybe you tend to wing it a little bit. Maybe you could knuckle that down a little bit more. Maybe you let your timed nutrition slip a little bit, where you should be eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. You know, maybe you're eating slightly more often or slightly less often. There might be things like particular moves that you struggle a bit with, and I know we've talked about this in our groups. Things that we maybe don't feel as strong on, certain moves that we're still struggling to keep our balance in, those sorts of things. So I want you to start identifying what those are and really knuckle down in this next phase and try to really work on them, because all the time you're working on them, you're starting to really improve. And likewise with your strengths as well. So there are things that you will be really, really good at, and things that not necessarily everyone in the group is good at. You might be really good at meal planning, meal prepping. You might be so spot on with your timed nutrition. You might be really good at certain moves, or found a really good way to modify some of the moves. So you need to continue to work on those strengths, because there's always room for improvement, right? But what I'd like you to do is start to share some of those in the group as well, because what might be your strength might be someone else's weakness. And if you've found a way to overcome that, or you found some tips or ways of managing that, then that can really help benefit someone else in the group. So and that can really help add some value to their journey as well. So that will be really nice if you identify anything like that that you think you can share with everyone. I just want to reiterate, and I know I've said it quite a few times, but again, just trust the process. This is something very different to what any of us have ever done before. It's structured very differently to the programs that we've done before as well. It's designed around, like I said, the 3 phases. And the first phase is a bulk phase. The second phase is a build phase. And the third phase is a lean phase. So we have been doing this bulk phase, which is why you may not feel that you've seen big results or lots of weight loss, or necessarily can see big changes in your photos. We all can see them because we don't see your body every day, but because you're the one looking into the mirror every day, you might not see those changes, but I promise you they are there. But please also remember that this phase has been our bulk phase. Like I say, it's not rapid weight loss like any of the other programs. So in order to start to build that lean muscle, which we're going to start doing in phase 2, we need to feed and fuel our body, and that's what we've been doing in phase 1. So we've put everything in place ready to start building that lean muscle. You might find that you've bulked a bit. You might feel that you're slightly bigger in areas that you feel you might not have been before, but all of that extra food you've been having and all of that work that you've been putting in this last phase, we're going to start using that in phase 2 now. So please don't worry about any of that. The phase 2 workouts are going to be harder, but they're going to be much more focused on the muscle tone, on the toning and the muscle building as well. I promise you, you will start to lean out. In this phase, you will start to see yourself leaning out. It's part of the plan, and that's why it's 80 days. It's a longer process. It's part of that process, and it's not a fast process. It was never designed to be a fast process. So again, trust the process, and make sure that you're calculating correctly for this phase 2. Don't feel that you should adjust the plan on your own. If you sort of feel that, I don't want to be in that meal plan. I want to be less. I want to be more. I know I say it so many times, but trust it. It's been designed by nutritionists, exercise experts. They know what they're talking about, and in the nicest possible way, we don't. So it's all been done very scientifically. Trust it. Don't feel that you can adjust the plan on your own. I know some people, I guess you guys in the group haven't really said it too much, but elsewhere people have been saying it, where people are really hungry or they say, oh, I'm starving. Now, there is a real difference between feeling a bit hungry and actually starving. Hungry is actually all right when you're like really looking forward to your next meal, or, you just feel like you could eat more food. That's a good thing. That's because your metabolism is really revving up. That's a good thing. Starving is a different thing. Starving is where you feel really weak. You can't necessarily finish your workout. You can't sleep at night properly because you are that hungry. You're actually literally starving yourself. And there is a real difference. So if you are starving, then that is when you would bump up into the maintenance plan if you're on a weight loss plan. And you can do that. That's fine. You need to listen to your body. You're the best person. You know your body better than anyone else. So if you feel that you're starving, you bump up to yourself to maintenance and see how you feel on that. If you feel suddenly that your workouts are better, you're sleeping better, you just feel generally better, that is perfect. So stay on that. If you don't really see an awful lot of change, well then come back into your weight loss calculation, okay? You might be eating more food than you've been used to. And again, that's part of the bulking phase. But what I want you to know, and I think in everybody's case in the group, is that you've been eating maybe more food than you would normally do, but you haven't put on weight. You're either losing weight or you're staying around the same, but you're eating more food. So just try to get that in your mindset of the fact that it's about the balance and the equation, about the really nutritious, good food that you're eating, the daily exercise you're doing, and that you're just fueling your body, and your body is responding really well to it. So there's real power in that knowledge. And you can take that forward even after this program has finished. It's that sort of confidence level that I can eat lots of food. It just has to be the right food, and I have to be doing the right things with my body as well. It's about what your body needs for fuel. You're changing your body composition. All of this work that you're doing and will continue to do for the next couple of months, you're changing your body composition, and the way that you're eating is fueling your body, and it's really getting that metabolism moving. So it's really charging that up. So I just really want you to take a minute to just think about that. You're eating more food, but you're not putting on weight, okay? Right, so calorie brackets. As we move now into phase 2, we do have a different calculation for our containers, and that applies to phase 3 as well. You're going to get a little bit extra food. It's probably going to be about 150 to 200 calories a day each. And that's because we're going into this build phase. Like I said, we're going to start building lean muscle, and that means that we're going to start burning more body fat as a result. Sorry, lots of motorbikes outside my window. So the more lean muscle you build, the more your body naturally burns fat. So that's what we're focusing on doing now. But to do that, to build that lean muscle, you need food. That's why we're getting some more containers. Okay? So when you do your calculation, you need to be really clear with yourself about whether you're going to go into the weight loss plan or the maintenance plan. Now, that really comes down to whether you feel you've got 10 pounds or more to lose. If you do, you're going to go into your weight loss plan. If you don't have 10 pounds or more to lose, then you're going to go into the maintenance plan. Now, when I say 10 pounds to lose, I mean of fat, okay? Because the number on the scale is such an arbitrary number, and it becomes irrelevant depending on what your body composition is. Now, I know it's really hard to look at, maybe, or in my case, I look at my tummy and I know I've got fat on there, but is that 5 pounds worth of fat? Is it 10 pounds worth of fat? It's hard. I know it is really hard, but that's why you need to really think about it and try to be very clear. This isn't about the number on the scale. It's not about saying, I want to get to this particular number. This is about looking at your body, deciding whether you feel you've got quite a lot of fat that you want to get rid of, or whether you feel that there isn't really that much fat there. So try to be really honest with yourself. Try to really think about that. Like I say, if you feel that you've got 10 pounds or more of fat to lose from your body, then go into the weight loss. If you don't think you do, or if you're not sure, then go into the maintenance, okay? Because we can always reassess that after a couple of weeks. Going into, like I say, if going from that weight loss mindset into the maintenance mindset, even if you feel that you've got weight to lose, is quite a difficult thing. So you just need to be very clear. You need to really assess, is it a number on a scale I'm aspiring to, or is it what I can see in the mirror and what I can feel? Is that fat? Is it not? Is it just bulk? Is it bloating? What is it? And I realise that it's quite a hard mindset to get into, but ultimately, even if you're in the maintenance plan, you're eating to build your lean muscle, and it's the lean muscle that will burn fat. So you will still burn fat even if you're in your maintenance mode, okay? And ultimately, when you get to the end of this, that 10 pounds, although it might sound quite a lot now, is it's really neither here nor there. You really and truly won't care where that 10 pounds is on that scale, because you'll be looking at your body and it will have changed so much that the 10 pounds becomes entirely irrelevant, okay? So try to think of it in just a slightly different way than maybe you've been used to in the past. Okay, I want you to make sure that you're getting enough sleep as well. So we build our muscle when we're sleeping. So if you're not sleeping, you're not giving your body a chance to build its muscle. If you are feeling tired in the day, that's a good thing. Although it's quite hard to manage, it's actually a good thing because it means that you're working really hard. The workouts are hard and you're going to start to feel tired and weary. And what it is, it's you feeling sleepy is your body actually saying, look, you've worked me really, really hard. I want you to go to sleep now so I can start building this muscle that you've set me up to do. So try to listen to that. Try to make sure you're getting your 8 hours sleep a night. I know it's easier said than done sometimes, and some days it's harder than others, but it's all about some self-care, some rest and relaxation, and as much sleep as you can get. Another thing I wanted to talk about was bloating. We didn't talk too much about bloating in the group, and I'm hoping that's because nobody really experienced it. I did a tiny bit at the start, but if you were experiencing bloating when we started this program, it should have gone by now. So if you still feel that you're bloated, then now is the time for you to start really looking at what foods you've been eating. It might be that there are certain things on your lists that you're eating that are causing that bloating. So maybe now we're moving into phase 2, we've settled down a little bit into the time nutrition. Really start to hone in on what are you eating and are those the right things for your body? Is your body enjoying eating those things or not? So that's what I would suggest if you are still struggling with a little bit of bloating. You might find that you can identify a pattern that if it might always be broccoli or cauliflower or something that causes you bloating. So really maybe start to focus on that and have a look at that. Okay, refeed day. We talked about this when we had coffee the other day, but I've got a little bit more information on refeed day now. We will start having a refeed day as from week 6. And what refeed day means is that we will start to introduce some extra carbohydrates, so some extra yellow containers. And those yellow containers can come from the list, the additional list that you have in your nutrition guide of those dirty yellows. So they're not as clean, where you might be eating brown rice or wholemeal pasta. The list has things like white rice, white bread, those sorts of things. And we refer to them as dirty yellows. We have our refeed day the day before leg day, and the idea behind that is that we're using higher glycemic index foods to give your body almost like a shock of energy so that you can work harder the next day in leg day. It's part of the strategy. It's been placed in that position for a reason. And it does mean that you should be able to work harder on leg day than maybe you would otherwise have been able to. It isn't a cheat day. I trust all of you guys not to treat it as a cheat day, but I just want to make sure that I've said it. It's not a cheat day. You still need to follow that list that we've been given. But you will get extra yellows on those days. Now, we talked about the fact that we might necessarily not want to eat the things on those dirty yellow lists. And I have more information on that in the fact that you don't have to, okay? So if you're quite happy eating your brown rice and your wholemeal pasta and those sorts of things, you can choose to carry on doing that if you want to. You just will have more carbohydrates that day because you've still got to have the same amount of containers. But you can carry on eating the yellows that you've always been eating, okay? So that's really good. The point of the dirty yellows there is for people that really feel they need them. So some people might really just desperately want a slice of white bread or just some white pasta, or they want a hot dog roll or something. It's to help people stay on track. Because it can be hard just sticking to certain foods. But if you feel that you don't want that white rice, you just want to carry on with the yellows that you've been having, that is perfect. You're still going to get that boost of energy from having the extra yellow container that day anyway. So keep doing what you want to do if you want to. If not, then you can follow that refilled dirty yellows list as well. Okay, so what else did I want to say about that? Okay, so there's a piece around how your body's going to react to refeed day. So we've been doing a month of eating the way we have. We've still got another 2 weeks of it slight container changes, but we're still eating the same for the next 2 weeks, and we don't introduce refeed until week 6. So everyone is going to react slightly differently, and they found this in the test group. Some people, people's bodies really reacted well, and they actually found that they leaned out the following day after refeed day. Some people didn't, and they bloated up. Now, we're all going to feel different, so I need you to just be aware of that. So maybe it's a really good time to journal. I know some of you guys have got diaries and journals, but maybe on the day before refeed day, really journal how your body feels, whether you feel bloated or your stomach feels fairly flat, whether you have energy, if you feel really good, and journal the same on refeed day as you're eating those extra carbs, and journal how you feel on that following day, on that leg day, because you'll want that information to help you make some decisions as you move forward. So, you might decide to go for the white bread. A slice of white bread and Marmite, I think, might have been the refeed meal of choice the other day. And I was definitely looking forward to my Marmite. But you might find that that's perfect and that you have no problems with it, but you might find that the next day you are bloated, that you just feel generally yucky, and you'll know then with that information that the next time refeed day comes up, you possibly won't want to put yourself through that again. So really make a point of listening to your body and seeing how it responds to the refeed day. And also, it won't just apply to 80-day obsession, but if you have your white rice or your white pasta and then you just feel really, really bloated the next day, you know that your body isn't reacting that well to it. So even after 80-day obsession, you'll know that if you choose to eat those foods, then you might have to suck up the outcome of that the following days. But then at least you're empowered and you have that knowledge about your body, and you can make your decisions then, can't you? Really, really important though, don't skip refeed day. Don't think, oh, I'm going to carry on eating the same because I don't want my extra carb. It's really important. It's part of the plan. Just do it. If you don't want to eat the white stuff, the refined stuff, just do it in the cleaner way by carrying on with the same yellows as you've already done, but don't skip refeed day, okay? Just another couple of things I wanted to say. Water. Make sure you're really, really drinking a lot of water. And I know I can be guilty personally of this. It's something that, quite honestly, it's easy to do. It's easy to drink a lot of water, but it's really easy not to as well. So make sure you've always got a full bottle with you, that you carry something around with you, that you've always just got water on hand and that you're sipping on it throughout the day. Because if you don't have it there, it's easy to just not have any or forget to go and fill up a glass. But drinking enough water and being hydrated is probably the single most important thing you can do in terms of helping your body change its composition, and seeing and whether you're going to see results or not. So make sure that you're doing that. And also, as we're moving now into phase 2, keep upping those weights and the resistance of those bands. I know you have been already, and you've been doing so great at that, and I've been really, really proud, and I know you're seeing the results of that. So keep doing that. We want to keep progressing as we move through into this next phase. We want to start building that muscle. This is the phase where we're gonna build muscle, so let's really, really use that and take the opportunity to do that. Keep an eye on your bands. Now that we've been using them for 4 weeks, they will have stretched a little bit. You might find that they don't give you as much resistance as they did initially. So if you feel that you need some new ones, you need tighter ones again, then get yourself some. They're not overly expensive, and you'll just be cheating yourself out of it, really, if you don't do that. So if you feel you need newer bands, just go and get some. That's really not a problem. And I just want to say as well, you should be feeling a little bit sore every day. I know some days are worse than others, but every day you should really be able to feel that the day before you worked those muscles. I don't want you struggling to sort of hobble down the stairs or sitting on the toilet seat or anything like that. But, you might have days like that. But definitely every day you should be feeling a little bit sore. And if you're not, then honestly, you're not working those muscles hard enough. So you need, in those instances, to really be upping those weights, really be doubling up on your bands or increasing the resistance on your bands so you can start to really feel it. Now, it might not just be the fact that you're not lifting heavy enough or you're not using the right bands. It could be that there might be some slight adjustments you need to make in your exercises. Make sure you're going really full into those moves. You know, if you're doing a squat move, really get deep down into that squat. As long as you're doing it safely and you're keeping your correct form, just really work each of those moves really hard so that you know you're getting the absolute most out of each one, and that will help you to start to see some really great results as well. So that was all I wanted to say. I'm really proud of you. I really am. I think it's been really fabulous watching you guys going through this and having you in the group with me. I've been thoroughly enjoying it, and I've been loving you posting in every day. So please keep doing that. It keeps us all motivated, and it's really helpful when you're having a hard day and someone else is posting in there that they've already done it or they're cheering each other on. It's really fabulous, and that's what I love about having the group. So please carry on doing that. I'm loving having you in the group. As always, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. So please make sure you answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I will find out for you. So let's keep it up. Let's go into phase 2 really strong. I know you will, and I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys. See ya. Bye.